The Joby GorillaPod is perfect for on-the-go filmmaking with a DSLR or mirrorless camera. Affiliate link below. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. Welcome to 3 Buck Theater. I am so sorry for my delay in keeping up with this channel. I lost my voice after VidCon, then I got a cold and I couldn't talk, and I still have my other channel. So, unfortunately, some of the news took a bit of a hit here, and I'm going to play catch-up pretty soon. But I did want to talk about the whole Zendaya situation involving Spider-Man Homecoming, because out of everything good that movie did, her character, spoiler time, by the way, that twist really fell flat. And I mean, like, supremely fell flat. That was one of two things in the movie that I felt were just not good. The main one, even I can kind of live with the Zendaya thing, but the main one was the time jump, right? After the attack on New York, the battle for New York, it took place 8 years later, which made no sense because the timeline doesn't add up for that. They've already screwed the pooch and everyone's just like, what the hell's going on? So Marvel can now fix it. But when it comes to Zendaya and her character Michelle, there were all of those rumors going on for all of the time during production when the casting call sheet went out there and everything else. And people were just like, is she playing? Is she Mary Jane Watson? Is she Mary Jane? Is she MJ? Is this the new MJ? And then all of a sudden you had like the crazy racists. Well, and I would argue not necessarily racist, but definitely purists that are just like, you can't have a mixed race Mary Jane? That is unfathomable. Blah, 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 blah. They got really mad. They did. And then you get to the movie and you're like, you kind of forget she's even there. Her character when she's there is good on screen, but otherwise, like the 4 or 5 scenes with Michelle's character, it's kind of like a throwaway character. You know, not a co-star, nowhere near a co-lead, but just one of those things where you're like, oh, she's there, you know she's there, but you don't really care. Like it was kind of underwhelming. But then you get to the end of the movie. They're in the debate room meeting, right? Or the debate team meeting, and it shows you a shot of the mascots of the school, right? And it's a tiger. And so when I saw that on the screen, I thought, oh yeah, MJ, go get him, Tiger. Like, is that coming up? Are we going to meet MJ? Or is that what's going to happen here? And then it goes to, oh, Michelle is now the new captain of the debate team. And she's like, yeah, hey, my friends call me MJ. And I'm not going to lie when I say this. My whole audience, those in the know at least, groaned so much because it was such a stupid thing. It was so lame. The character of Michelle on her own is fine, even if forgettable, but to throw in that Easter egg, especially following the establishing shot of the mascot of the fucking school, and to have that, you know, direct relation a moment later, it's just like, ugh. Like, out of everything that was done right for Spider-Man Homecoming, which was like everything else except for the time jump, that was the one thing that was just so ridiculously stupid. And here's the deal. Kevin Feige and Amy Pascal, especially Feige, I think they know they fucked up. I think they know they screwed up because they've come out and kind of done the damage control. Oh, well, I mean, she's not MJ. Right? She's not that MJ. She's a wholly new character. She's not Mary Jane Watson, but she is going to have an important part of Spider-Man's life. So some articles I've seen are like, this is your new Mary Jane Watson. And it's like, no, this is a whole new character. But this also is where we're running into the problem too of like, do they want to continuously go back and tread on that territory? Do they want to go and recapitalize on the Mary Jane Watson, Peter Parker love affair from Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3? You know, I mean, did they want to do Gwen Stacy from The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2? Did they want to recast those parts? And obviously the answer to that is no. They wanted to separate it a bit. They didn't want to throw that in there. So they wanted to give, like, Liz, the love interest of the movie, is a whole new character. And then at the end, you see that MJ, I still don't like saying that, that Michelle's character was like, she watches Peter, she watches him, and she obviously clearly likes him, and he is kind of unaware of her affection, if you will, and that's one that that might come up, you know, in the next movie, and I'm sure she's going to be in it because at this point he's 15. I'm assuming she's 15. He still has 2 more years left of school, hence why we're getting the Spider-Man's trilogy set in high school, which is a fantastic idea in my opinion. And then past that, and let's be realistic here, Sony wants Tom Holland for like the next 20 years to play this character, so they are very much going to be working him in that particular way. And they are probably going to introduce Gwen Stacy, and they are probably going to introduce Mary Jane Watson, but this particular Easter egg was just like, it was lame. It was lame. Out of everything else they did, that was fantastic. And I mean, like, and that's the thing. If you're looking at the movie as a whole, it's just a little checkbox, but it's one of those ones too, where because it was at the end of the movie, it's one of the things like you last remember about the movie. And it does kind of, I don't want to say sully the experience, but it definitely has a negative impact on it, right? Not enough to where you're going to walk out going, fuck this movie, fuck it all to hell, fuck it, goddamn it. You're not thinking that at all. You're going to think, yeah, no, it was a good movie, I enjoyed it. That was a poor mark. Because here's the thing too, is they had the 2 big reveals. Right, you had Vulture's reveal as Liz's dad right at the end of the 2nd act, leading into the 3rd act. And that was a big reveal. That was a good reveal. No one saw that coming, to the point of where the audience gasped. They're like, oh shit. Yeah, I heard a lot of that. I said that. I looked at my girlfriend, I'm like, damn, you know. She's like, I know, oh my God. Because Michael Keaton brought it, and he was a great character, and Tom Holland is great in the role. That reveal absolutely paid off. To the point of where it raised the stakes for everything else for the final act of the film. But when you get to the conclusion and you're looking at this MJ Easter egg reveal thing, it was just like, no. And then it just, no. They need to retrofit that right now. Like they just need to have it. Okay, here's what they need to do. They need to do the same thing that they did with like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. April having owned the Turtles prior, whatever, man, that was lame. Just accept that it happened and move on from it. And when it comes to the next movie, which they are working on right now, getting ready for an early 2018 production, is basically going to gives him time to write it in there. So clearly her character, Michelle's character, was good enough to warrant coming back, but they're probably not going to call her MJ. They're probably just going to call her Michelle. They might throw in a line about like, you know, oh, it's easier to call you Michelle. There's another MJ here. That other MJ could be Mary Jane Watson. And then there's like a bit of a battle for who's going to be the MJ of the school. Like I could see that happening and then bringing her in. But I even then, it's like, I'm okay with them taking their time getting to Mary Jane. I just don't want the character of Mary Jane fucked with. You know what I mean? Like someone had recommended that, you know, Mysterio play a villain in the next movie. And I'm like, well, to have the full Mysterio line, you got to have MJ in there. So like, you know, you can't have that right away. Introduce MJ in number 2 and then introduce Mysterio in number 3 or whatever, if you want to do that. They're probably not going to, not for a while, not till they're well past the high school phase. And when they're into Spider-Man's 2nd trilogy, which will be college, we're going to watch Tom Holland grow in real time. But the point is when it comes to that particular reveal, I know that it was meant to be an Easter egg that people could get on board with. I get that, but it tanked so hard. But I want to know your guys' thoughts on this. Do you think that it really wasn't bad? Do you think it was good? Do you think I'm overreacting? These are things I'm curious to know about. Do you think that it hurt the film? Do you think that it made the film better? That it was a nice little kind of a, haha, we're changing things up a little bit. So she's not going to be the Mary Jane, but she's going to be the love interest going forward. I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't. I think there's enough fan pushback on it right now that they're going to kill that storyline and they're going to rework it towards something else because it seems to make the most sense. But again, what do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments below. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This has been $3 Theater. I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day and peace out.